Welcome back to our course in entrepreneurship. Today we need to discuss a very important topic related to the key approaches of the entrepreneurship. Let us start our lecture today. Okay, so what are these key approaches? Remember that when I say the word key, which is the important thing. So what are the important approaches or strategies or methods which I can follow deal with to achieve my business model or to fulfilling my business model? Let us start these key approaches or new strategies. Number one, sociological approach. First of all, what's sociology? Ology means a science or a study. So sociology here means the science which studies the human beings in its relationship with the people or with the institution, firm, family, the type of relationship, formal, informal, and the achievement of this or the expectations from this relationship. So the sociological approach to study the entrepreneurship deals with the social and cultural aspects, factors. So we need here to make a relationship between the culture and the social life and social factors which affect upon our entrepreneurship development. So these factors responsible for the nature and the growth of your entrepreneurship development or achievement in a society. So this is kind of social life or sociological approach. It attempts to understand as to why a social structure, the basics, the infrastructure, the relationship, that the type of relationship or the interrelationship or the ties and the cultural facilities or facilities means here can everything go and run easily and can make the process of entrepreneurship and the models and the ventures and the small projects and the process in a broad meaning of development achieve easily and go on without any obstacles or inhibits the entrepreneurial development, which means a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, and you should study and make analysis these approaches and these factors or dimensions which affect the process of entrepreneurship and prevent your business model to achieve. It believes that the laws of development lie in the social structure. It believes that this is declaration, this is report, is the most of the important reports or global reports said that or declared that there is a relationship between the laws of the development most of the laws of the principles of development process lie or included in the social structure and how the combination of the social structure affect upon your enterprise or your business model. Lie in social structure and culture of a region of the context that you deal with. Environment region here means the environmental context or the environmental factor or the context that you deal with or your target group or your segment as a dentist or as in your dental work or as a dental entrepreneur. So this is the first approach, which is you should be a good sociologist in your field of study in dental entrepreneur. So we need social entrepreneurship in this, the keyword here from this approach. Social entrepreneurship, the factors behind the social and culture and how these factors affect upon your business model and your development or entrepreneurship developments, and how to be a good sociologist in your field of study in dentistry to achieve your business model. Let us move to the second approach, or the second method or strategy or key strategy to achieve your business model. Okay, the second approach or key approach to treat with your business model and to treat with your segment very well is psychological approach. Psychological approach means psychology. Ology means study or science, as we said before in the sociological factor. The psychological approach, psychology is the study, the science which studies the man or the person himself in its habits, in its health care, in its personal life, in its his or her social life. Now, you are not a common entrepreneur, general entrepreneur, or general dentist. You are now dental entrepreneur or dentist entrepreneur. You should know everything about your client, your patient. So now we have understood by now that the entrepreneur is not a common person. He has a typical personality with creative, managerial, and imaginative skill who can innovate and contribute positively to an industrial project. This kind of personality develops in a person who has strong motivation for achievement. Now, you are not only an entrepreneur or a dentist or dental entrepreneur, you are now a psychologist. Beside a sociologist, you are now a psychologist. You should build your personality, work on your personality to be a creative and innovative person and imaginative person who create new ideas, who search for or create his or her own opportunity if you don't find any opportunity or a chance to achieve your goal, you should create it. You should create your own chance or your own opportunity. So this kind of personality, you should build strong personality, trust building, and be self-confident person. This kind of personality develops in a person who has a strong motivation. You should be self-motivated person for achievement, for achieve what you need to achieve and your business model. So here in this respect or in this approach, you should be a good psychologist. Psychologist for yourself and build your personality, and for your client or for your customer or your patient or your segment, the target group, your target group, right? So this is the second approach. Let us move to the third one. So the third approach or key strategy is the political approach. Political approach to entrepreneurship means, which means here the relationship between you as or your group and your institution or your state or your country or your community, maybe discourse community, the scientists. You need acceptance, you need agreement, you need consensus upon your venture or upon your business model. So the political approach to entrepreneurship deals with the issues involved in relationship between entrepreneurship development and the state, particularly in the context of the role, how to distribute the roles of the latter in the development of entrepreneurs, what are the tasks and how you can distribute all the roles to achieve your target. The role of the government. So what is the role of the government here? So the government, we need the acceptance and the consensus and the agreement of the government is crucial in deciding the nature and rate of development. So you need to deal with the government, with the state to achieve your goal and to convince and persuade the government and the leaders of the state to with your venture or with your project or business model. Okay, so this is something related to the politicians and how to convince the politicians or the people in your institution, the leaders, the managers, the principals, and the persons who accept or not accept your agree or disagree upon your venture or your business model. You should convince them and persuade them very well to achieve your goal. Okay, the last key approach today, or the last important approach, is the composite approach, or holistic approach, or comprehensive approach. As you know before, the entrepreneurship, it's not an easy phenomenon or process. It's a complex phenomenon or a complex or sophisticated process. So you cannot deal with the previous three approaches separately. You should make an integration and composition and combination among all these approaches, psychological, sociological, and the political one, and you need to study all these approaches in a dynamic way and in an integrated way. So due to their non-holistic nature, if you need to study or to only follow the sociological approach without the psychological one or without political one, you cannot reach to any results, or you cannot know the nature of your business model or the nature of your segment or nature of your market maybe. So you cannot find any results, or you cannot get any findings from your business model when you study these approaches separately, or when you take only one approach without the other approaches, or without the previous three approaches. So you should study all these approaches in a holistic way, or in an integrated way, or a comprehensive way. So they have failed. The result, if you study each one of them separately or take only one approach, you will fail to offer the precise, the accurate laws, or the accurate dimensions or factors or principles of supply and success of entrepreneurship. You cannot success of your enterprise, of your own venture. It has been observed that entrepreneurial behavior, the entrepreneurial behavior or conduct, is an outcome of is the outcome of these practices or this drilling of the interplay of multiplicity, or the integration of social, cultural, economical, political, psychological factors. You cannot study anyone without the other one, or without the other's dimensions or the other's approaches. You should study all these dimensions in a multiple way, as a multiplicity, or as an integrated approaches and the comprehensive approach. This is what we say, the composite approach, or the comprehensive or holistic approach, or systematic, maybe we can say systematic approach. You should follow all the sociological, psychological, political approaches to know more about your venture, about your business model, and about your segment, your client, your customer, and so on. That's all. Thank you so much for before we leave our lecture today, we need to make a small activity. This is your activity, the second activity for you. I need to select a specific approach, only one approach, and I need to know to write here only the first in the first column. I need to write the approach, the name of the approach, then answer the questions, the second questions in the second column. How do you can apply in my field, in your field of study in dental work or in dentistry? How do you can apply the approach of the sociological approach, or the psychological approach, or the political approach, and I need only one approach, and answer the questions in this table. And this is the second activity for you. They value, and then move to the third column, which have the value of this approach for the patient and dentist. So the value means here how this approach is so important for both the patient and the dentist. So you should mention here in the third one, they value the importance of this approach upon the patients and the dentist, right? Okay, I need this activity in the next week, inshallah. So the due date is the next Saturday, inshallah. Thank you so much for following this video, and okay, thank you for watching, and please keep on your smile to make your life better, inshallah. Bye bye. See you in the next lecture, inshallah. Bye bye.